Rule number 4, anything to the power of 0 is, now this is one that kids always mess up. For some reason they give me the wrong answer, so I want to illustrate an idea here. I hope that you all agree that 125 over 125 is equal to 1. But I could write this as 5 to the third power over 5 to the third power. And using the actual rule number 3, if you have division with the same base, you could write this as 5 to the top exponent minus the bottom exponent, which would be 5 to the 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 5 to the 0 power, I think we could all agree, is 1. Now that would work with any variable you wanted to pick out. You could say, I have x to the 9th over x to the 9th, which would be x to the 9 minus 9, which is x to the 0, and that would be 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Now I say that because we're going to see some examples where they try to trick us. They could say something like this. Example 1. They could say 4x to the 0 plus 7y quantity raised to the 0. The trick to doing these problems is knowing who is being raised to the 0 power. If I ask you to put exponents in every place where you can, this would be 4 raised to the first, x to the 0, plus 7 to the first, y to the first, quantity raised to the 0. As we look at the first term, we could say that this is 4 times 1 plus, now both of these exponents inside here are being raised to the 0 power, so anything raised to 0 power just goes to 1. This problem then becomes 4 times 1, which is 4, plus 1. Answer is 5. Now most often you'll see it written other ways. An example 2 here, they might say something like this. P cubed, P0, P negative 5. Well, with this, they're testing all your understanding of the rules. You could first start off, if you wanted to, by doing base exponent, base exponent, base exponent. Take your common base and add your exponents. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 and negative 5 is negative 2. Understanding that negative exponents are not allowed as part of your final answer, you could write this as 1 over p squared. You could also use the war idea. So another way of doing the same problem is to leave the p cubed where it's at. Understand that p to the 0 power is 1, so it basically drops out. And this negative exponent will be forced to the denominator. Let the penguins go to war. The bottom would win by 2. And you put a 1 upstairs as a placeholder. You get the equivalent answer, just a different route of finding that answer. Anything to the 0 power can be a tricky one. You just have to be careful as you work through it. You could have example 3. I love to put questions like this on the test because it's a time saver. It tests your ability to understand the concept, and it kind of looks complicated. So I could say like 3/17 x cubed y squared z to the 5th over a to the 9th b to the 3rd z to the 11th all raised to the 0 power. And again, we go back to our adage here on this other piece of paper. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So when I give you all this stuff in here, raise it to 0 power, there's no work. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Done.